Gamers out there in YouTube land, I have a dilemma. 40-something gamers, we gonna get right to it. Digital versus physical. First of all, I have Xbox 360. I love my Xbox 360 games. As you know, we both got a lot of consoles, but I bought this game right here. My boy's been hyping it up. I got the Crew 2 and 3. But little did I know that, you see this wrong? Server's been shut down. So guess what? I can't play it. I got a pretty little box with a CD in it, and I can't play it because the server shut down. So back in the day, back in the 1990s, this was all you needed. This was all you needed right here. Console. Put it in the console, bam, you play. Physical over digital. And then having to have to play online. Let's discuss. Also got a Switch 2 now. Got a Switch 2 in December. Actually got it for Christmas. Ran out of memory. Downloaded the latest and greatest remake of Final Fantasy VII. Guess what? Boop. Couldn't do it. Had to buy memory. So I was like, all right, I need something quick and fast, reasonably priced. 256 gigabytes. So that's been about a month. I ran out of my initial hard drive memory. Bought 256 gigabytes. But then it's like, yo, wait a minute. That was like a month and a half. How long will this last? Let's discuss.
Yeah.
Physical over digital.
That's hard.
What do you think, Sharon? Because we Gen X.
Yeah. You know, I'm always
gonna
love physical over digital. You know, because physical, you'll always own it. You'll always be able to play it, with the exception of, that's right, Gen X gamers, with the exception of the game that you just showed, you know, server shut down. But you know, I can always pop this Sonic the Hedgehog game in. This game has been out since 1991, and you can run it, you can play it from now till the end. You know, it's with, you know, digital games, like if the server goes down, that's it, you know. And, you know, then also when you're dealing with digital, you got to think about space. You know, I like to joke about it. I count my gigs like I count my calories. But, you know, once you run out of gigs, you ain't downloading nothing unless you are buying a cloud-based game, or if you got, I mean, you got to have the memory for that still. No, I'm not sure how that works. But I mean, you know, you have to get the memory stick, 250 gig or 512. You know.
Yep. And then on top of that, you bring up another good point. So I like to just plug and play, get in and play. But then you download a new game, it may take you forever. Like, I was excited once I got Final Fantasy Remake. I also got the Final Fantasy game. I couldn't play it till the next day because it took a long time. It's like, okay, I'll play it tomorrow. And then, like, let's face it, some of these expansion cards, they cost a good amount of money. I think like the 500, what's it, 512?
About $100.
Yeah, it's gonna cost you a bit of money. And then on top of that, we wore this like a badge of honor, man. Back in the day, you go to your homeboy's house or something, you got the physical copies right there. Like, bam, man, you got all these games, you can trade them. And then as far as the license, who owns the licenses? Are they just giving you the license to the game?
And see, also, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Nah, that's another issue. You know, once you buy a game, a physical game, you got it for life. I still got, but like this, I still got the Sonic I had in 91. I still got Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. You know how some of these stores close, you can't download them anymore. For example, with the Wii, didn't really think about it because with the Wii, once you download the game, it's there. But then when the store closed, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Like, you can't.
And also, back in the day, back in the 1900s and 90s, you know, we had games like The Legend of Zelda, Zelda 2, they had an internal battery. So the game, you know, you saved the game. You know, and I mean, we didn't really have a memory issue, like with the, not really an issue, but, you know, memory cards until, I think did the Sega Master System have a memory card or no?
Oh yeah, it did. It had a memory card.
But I mean, you know, games weren't 7 gigabytes back then. You know, that was basically just for like save space and everything. It wasn't for like downloading. But, you know, and you know, once we got PlayStation, I know that it had a memory card that slid into it. But, you know, now we've gotten to the point where we have to download the games. And, you know, a game like, say, Cyberpunk is 60 gigs. You know, you got to think, if you have a 256 gigabyte system, which is the Nintendo Switch 2, you download that game about 4 times, and that's all your memory. You know, so what do? You know.
So let's talk about it, because I want to talk about storage hogs.
Yeah.
Some of these games, I think, like, I want to say, and listeners, correct me if I'm wrong, because I want to say that the new Final Fantasy was about 70 gigs. So think about it. The system itself, the Switch 2 was what, 256? And then I bought 256. So, but check this out. So the king of the storage hogs, Ark Survival Evolved, largest modern game reaching over 400 gigabytes on the PC and DLCs. On consoles, it could easily consume more than half of the standard 500 gigabyte drive. So that means it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, install size of 213 gigabytes just for the launch. DCS World Digital Combat Simulator, base install of at least 500 gigabytes. Star Wars Jedi Survivor, 155 gigabytes. And I said, oh, wow. So Final Fantasy 7, my bad, 145 gigabytes. So the Switch 2, you have to free up over 100 gigabytes. So that basically, that's what knocked me out of the game.
Yeah.
And then for Forza Motorsport, 132. Then it says, so Cyberpunk 2077, it had a 43 gigabyte patch. So wow. And it's saying that the reason why these files are so large, they have 4K assets. So the high resolution texture, uncompressed audio, and there's no optimization.
Right.
So even with these games, they have no optimization. Right. So my question to you, Sharon, and then also my question to the listeners, what do you do? What is the solution? Because I know that there's some games on my Switch 2 now that I've recently downloaded and bought that I'm like, I really don't want to play. Right. So Sharon, what do you do for a solution? Are there games that you just delete, or how do you go about it?
Well, again, the cool thing now, I have Cyberpunk. I have a physical copy of Cyberpunk on my PS4, and I know for the longest time I did not play it. So I did actually delete it from the system because it was taking up a lot of space. So I was like, I'm not playing this game, and I deleted it. So, but I mean, the thing is I own the game, so I went and I put it back on, and I eventually started playing it again. But, and I know it's not the most popular thing, is Cyberpunk is not really my favorite game. It's a good game, but it is basically like a future version of GTA 5 or 6 when it comes out. But with something like that, as long as I have a physical game, I have no problem going back and deleting it. However, in a situation that a game server is shut down, well, I guess it wouldn't matter anyway. Say if you take a game off, say like I have X-Men on my Xbox 360. I know for a fact they don't sell that game anymore. So if I delete it, it's gone forever. So I try to be really careful of what I delete and make sure I can re-download it. And in that instance, I like to make sure that I have a physical copy before I try to delete anything. The only thing I'm ever really going to delete is something that I already physically own, if that makes any sense. But I never even downloaded the new Street Fighter 6. Well, it's not new anymore, but
yeah,
I never even downloaded that to my Switch too, because it's another one that takes up a lot of space. And Street Fighter, that was my jam, But also, like I say, I run with a PS4. I never bought a 5. Everybody's like, you never got a PS5? Like, nah, I just never bought it, But, I do typically have a few PS4 games that have larger files, like, the Resident Evil Village, games like that. And I know that there's a new one that's coming out at the end of the month, which is the reason why I also had to go and buy extra memory for my Nintendo Switch 2. Because I knew that I wasn't going to be able to play the new Resident Evil because I didn't have the space for it.
So it's saying right here with the Switch 2, it has a standard 64 gigabyte cartridges. So for high-end games, the Switch 2 will use a standard 64 gigabyte cartridge to accommodate larger assets like 4K textures, reducing the download required. And then also, I guess with the Switch 2, they have a game key card. So there's a new format called game key card, GKC, I'm sorry, that's introduced. These are physical cartridges that only contain a key and require you to download the actual game data before playing. So it turns the physical purchase into a digital download with a shell filter. And then like you said, that it's now backwards compatible. So I guess these are some solutions. And then we also talked about the expansion cards. So Sony offers now a NVMe SSD up to 4 terabytes. So you can get an expansion up to 4 terabytes or more as long as it has heatsink. And then the Xbox has a C8 Western Digital expansion card. You plug into the back and it'll, same thing.
Yeah,
but it has to be Series X or S optimized,
yeah,
or so you can have like external hard drive.
yeah. I actually have a I want to say a 2 terabyte, either a 2 terabyte or a 4 terabyte hooked to my PlayStation 4. So I have like space for the next millennium, as long as I don't download Cyberpunk 15 times. But yeah, I just thought about that. I do actually have a 4 terabyte. Yeah, yeah. But I mean, I wish that
Yep.
Nintendo Switch would, I don't know if they would ever allow us to have like a 4 terabyte external hard drive system.
Yeah, so you just have to buy terabytes. And I mean, maybe that's, and to my people that have the Steam, let us know. Like, do you have terabytes? And then also, another thing about physical versus digital is the resale value. So a lot of these games that we talked about, a lot of these games, physical games you collect, they have a whole resale value. Like there's a Dreamcast game that Skies of Arcadia, it's a couple $100. Now with the digital, you buy the digital game, that's it. You know what I mean? So I guess it's for our listeners, and please tell us, is it the convenience factor or is it the clutter, of having a game? I just know us back in the 1990s, it was a badge of honor. You had all these games, and I get it. Like for me, like with streaming services, yeah, it's decluttered. You don't have it. But the thing is, like the anxiety, like after my thing with the Crew 2, all I have is the Crew itself, all I have is a beautiful box and no shell. And even one thing that I like about the Nintendo Switch is, bam, I mean, even this is small enough.
Yeah.
And then like I showed this off. This right here is I mentioned that I have the Sega Saturn Saru. Now I bought another one. I have 215 games, and I have now another one with 513 games. With this bad boy, I have 1,200 games for the Sega Genesis, and it's in one cartridge. But I just want to know the listeners, man, you let us know, what do you think? Is it the convenience over just owning the cartridge? And then what is your solution? Because now, like Sharon said, we count our gigabytes like we count our calories. And games that I'm looking forward to is He-Man, the new He-Man. I imagine that's not going to take a lot of space.
No.
But I'm looking at as everybody else, I'm looking for Grand Theft Auto 6. But how much memory is that going to take? And then I also want to get the 2 Zelda games.
Yeah. I have those.
Yeah, Star Wars.
Yeah.
But I also want to speak about another solution is that I have is Luna. So if you ever heard me talk about Luna Plus, it is a Amazon Prime, Amazon app or cloud-based gaming. So they have the Star Wars games. And thank God I purchased it on Luna, because there's no way in hell that, so right now, I'm just scared that, hey, I only got 256, but if I double up and buy another one and get, 512, how much do I got to go until I'm tapped out? So now I see, with that being said, I see the advantage of having cloud gaming with Luna. But you buy the game on Luna, but then it's like, what if Luna sets down the games I own?
Yep.
And that's the big question with like Netflix, or Amazon Prime. What if they shut down?
Right.
Who's to say that they'll be around 20 years from now? But 20 years from now, bam.
Yeah. I will say also, that's one of the reasons I like to run with a second gaming system. And one is going to always be Nintendo. Number two is going to be like a PlayStation or an Xbox, or in the future here, probably a Steam or some type of PC. The thing about PC is, you can always expand your hard drive.
Yeah.
So it's like you can, and you don't have to actually you have to change the gaming system to advance. With a PC, you don't so much do that. You just change your RAM
Yeah.
chip, and you add more memory, and you're playing. Just like for years. Like I say, if the PS5 is the most advanced system, then the PC actually has it beat by at least 8 to 10 years. No joke.
Yep.
It's just the way it's made. That's why people tend to like the. I guess they kind of, with all of this, I would say they're more or less kind of pushing us toward PC. Because if we're gonna game like this, in GTA 5, we don't know. I'm sorry, GTA 6, we don't even know how much RAM, how much memory that's even gonna take up. But
So, and that's where like Luna app comes
yeah,
in, Luna Cloud Gaming,
yeah,
cloud gaming services. You just
yeah,
go in there, you buy your game, it's clean.
yeah,
You don't even need a console. But then the question is, I know Amazon is a big thing. Like it's a big company, but who's to say who's going to be there? And
yeah.
what if you like we're collectors, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my call to action now is to listeners, call to action. physical over digital? Do you like the convenience of just having it on the cloud? Boom. Are you old school? Do you like just having physical copies of the games that you can pop in and out? Do you like the convenience of just a plug and play? And then to my people that love, like, what is your solution? What is your solution to the memory dilemma? What do you do? And then also, do you think what Ubisoft did with The Crew, do you think what they did is right? You know what I'm saying? And then who else will do that? You know what I mean? Now I just have a pretty box. I can't even play with the server. I hear that the UK is doing something in regards to this. Let us know. And then PC gamers, how do you feel? Like, what do you think? Is it better to do PC gaming because of this, because of the memory, physical versus digital? And then, let us know what you think. And then I also want to shout out, so since I brought that up, I'm a Gen X gamer, and then here's one of our shirts that speaks to this. Gen X gamers, cartridges didn't have load times. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes I have, there may be a Sunday night, or when a game comes out, I want to play it. I got to work in the morning.
Right.
Like with Final Fantasy VII, I had to work in the morning.
Right.
So I was like, man, I'll just play it tomorrow. Wait for it to download. But yeah, you guys let us know your thoughts. What's the solution? Do you have a solution? What is, pros and cons of both? And ladies and gentlemen, that's myself and Sharon Harrington. Any last thoughts or anything to say before we go?
I mean, I'm like, just get your exercise on so I can get my words out. Exercise, stay well and keep gaming, keep watching. Thanks for supporting us.
Yes, and I want to shout out, before I forget, shout out UK, shout out Japan, shout out Australia, shout out Toronto, shout out New York, shout out here, North Carolina barbecue that's tuned in, Sanford that's tuned in. I feel like, you guys are tuned in, plugged in. Thank you.
Yeah.
Salute. Listen to us on your favorite streaming platforms, or now we're on YouTube. And also join the community. We have a community. And then check out our merch store.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, no,
Sharon,
you good.
man, tell him about, man. Sharon was also, he got that paintbrush game, man.
Oh yeah. No, I got my new work I'm working on right now. I can't pull it out right now because I don't want to show like a little bit of it. But oh man, I ain't got enough moment right now. You got me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think when we came on, but yeah, I just want to say like, thanks for listening, and keep exercising. And on the next episode podcast, I'm gonna have a paint ready to show you guys.
And then also the music that you hear in the background, Marquivas Nias. My name is Audio Daydream Love. Check out my music composer platform on Marquivas, and then also check out my hip hop persona, Furious, Furys. And ladies and gentlemen, you have your call to action. Thanks for tuning in. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think, because I want to know. I'm running out of memory. And what was that saying? What'd you say, Sharon?
What's that? Count my gigs like I count my calories?
Exactly. That's going to be another shirt. But ladies and gentlemen, Marquivas Nias and Sharon Harrington signing off for, I was going to say Deeper Than Music. That's my other podcast. But 40-something gamers. Thank you.